Welcome to the Destin Business Forum. I'm your host, Amy Perry, and our guest is Jonathan Ochs, president of Trustmark Bank. Welcome.
Thank you.
Tell me, I know what Trustmark Bank does, but tell me if there's anything new with Trustmark, because I've heard some rumors.
Well, there is a lot of new information going on right now. We're actually going to be merging with Bank Trust. Bank Trust is going to become Trustmark here in the near future. I can't give you an actual date, but it's going to be within weeks, so we're excited about that.
Yeah, that's big. That's big news.
Bank Trust is in Alabama and Florida, and so they have 9 branches locally in Florida. So basically between Okaloosa, Crestview, Destin, going all the way over to Lynn Haven, we'll have 24 banking locations to serve everybody.
Wow, so you're more than doubling your branches with the merger.
We are.
Is my mouth right?
Well, not quite doubling, but we're getting a lot bigger, let's say that.
and the name will remain Trustmark.
It will.
Bank Trust becomes Trustmark.
Yes.
All right. So that's the rumor that I heard. I just wanted to confirm that that's...
I can confirm it.
All right. Generally, when people come on the show, I say, what is whatever the business is, but I know what Trustmark Bank is. But I want to know a little bit of history about Trustmark, and I thought, who better to ask than the president? So give me a little.
Yeah, we've
brief
been
history.
in business as a bank since 1889, so 123 years.
Okay, so you're probably going to stay around.
That's the idea. Yeah,
rumor.
we were formed in Mississippi, and basically we've expanded to Florida, we've expanded to Tennessee, Texas, and now excited to be going into Alabama as well. So really, it's a true regional bank. But the whole model of it is that we base our banking system on a series of community banks. So we try to keep the decision making and as much as we can local to really have a better effect for the customer.
So what would you say makes you different from I'm not going to use any names, but a bigger, more national bank? Is just that local?
Well, I can tell you, for us, this market here in Northwest Florida, this is an A market for us, and we're focused on it. We're trying to grow it. We're trying to, expand our customer relationships and things like that. I can't say that the same focus would be true for a larger bank because, when you're dealing in Orlando or you're dealing in Birmingham or Atlanta or some of the larger towns, when you come down here, it just doesn't have the same potential. So, but for us, we're really excited about the potential that's here, and so we're focusing on it.
And would that be, obviously the bigger banks have people here, but is that because the real decision makers aren't local?
I think that might be one of the things.
Okay.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you exactly how they run, but I can tell you that we focus on having people that are capable of making decisions here, available to people.
You're here, and your focus is to grow this.
Right.
To grow this area. Okay, that's what I thought, but I wasn't sure. Okay, now a little. I was a finance major, so I like numbers and all this stuff is interesting.
No tests, please.
No. This stuff is interesting to me, though. And I have, a couple of little things to ask you about, like commercial loans and rates and stuff like that. Does Trustmark do commercial loans?
Absolutely. In fact, we have quite a bit of money to lend, so we're looking to make as many commercial loans as we can.
What was that you say?
We have quite a bit of money to lend. Yeah, Mississippi has been a great base for Trustmark. It's kept us very safe and secure, as you can tell by we're merging with a over $1 billion bank. But because it's been so safe and secure, the growth there is not huge, but it's given us the ability to go into other areas and also to absorb some losses, which we've unfortunately done here locally in the last few years.
Sure. It's really, But okay, what about the rates? I know you probably can't say the rate is exactly this because it changes, but in general, what are the rates, or can you even answer that question?
Well, rates are basically based on a few things. One of them being what you're trying to do. Is it a real estate secured loan? Is it, are you buying equipment? Are you getting a line of credit? Things like that. So typically, the better the collateral, the better your rate's going to be.
Gotcha.
The longer the term that it is being fixed, the lower or the higher your rate will be. So you get the lowest rates with the shortest term.
Okay.
That being said, right now, if you're a small businessman, you have a building, and you make widgets and you sell them. Right now you're looking at a great deal, probably somewhere in the low 4s.
Wow. And if you're a small businesswoman, same rate?
Absolutely the same.
All right, I just had to.
Small business person, I should say.
Is it a good time to refinance, would you say?
Are you talking about for personal?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's incredible time to refinance. Last week, the Fed actually just announced they're going to be putting a bunch of money into the system, and what that means for everyone is that mortgage rates go lower. So right now, a couple days ago, I think the 30-year rate for a conforming loan, which means you're in line with your value and you're under $417,000, 3.25%, 30-year fixed.
That's a great rate, but what I see for people is that first thing you said. You said it kind of fast, but it's a huge hurdle for people in line with your value. And I don't know what people can do about that. And I know you as a banker can't do anything about that, but I think that's something that's a huge problem for people because they're not quite in line with their value. And I don't know, some people have said to me, and I'm not a financial planner or advisor, should I take money out of like a retirement plan or savings to get a better rate? Do you think they're going to go up in the next few years? So, and I don't know the answer to that.
Well,
question.
I think the answer to that question is relative. But I will say this: if the interest rate affects your payment, sure. It affects your disposable income and what you can spend on going to the movies or going on vacation. But the interest rate doesn't typically change the game so much that you'd be in a beneficial place to take money out of your retirement. So generally I would discourage people from touching their retirement account. If you're in one of those situations where you have
to refinance, you mean?
Buku bucks, to refinance. If you're in that situation, maybe with the right kind of advice, that might be something you would do to subsidize it. But otherwise I would say no, don't do that.
If you're at a 6.25, it's not worth taking some money out of something else to get a 3.25.
People can certainly go to their mortgage advisor, and we've got a great one in Bobby Solano. If they call her, she'll say, well, here's what your payment is now, here's what it would be.
Yeah.
Get an idea of what it would be. If you're going to save $200 and that's worth it to you, okay. If you're going to save $1,000, it might be a different story.
Right. You just never know. And I know these questions that I'm throwing at you are kind of difficult to answer in general. And I feel like I have to say when people say, oh, the rates are great, they are, but I know, just a lot of people that say I can't refinance because I don't have the values there. And I've spent a lot of time talking about that. Is there anything else that you want to cover about the bank? I see its name everywhere, and it's getting a lot of sponsorships, and that's really exciting too.
Well, we feel like we're in a situation that we are because of the customers that we have and because of this area, so we want to give back as much as we can. So obviously the Maddie Kelly Arts Foundation is one of those ways. United Way, there's several other
in the chamber,
charities in the chamber. We're one of the core sponsors there, so we enjoy that. I think that what are we doing right now? We're wanting people to know that we offer basically everything that they could need from a financial perspective. We have an insurance company, Fisher Brown Bottrell, that most people are aware of. It was based in Pensacola. It's been for over 100 years. We have a trust company, so if people need, whatever aspect of finances you're in, what you need, we have something that we can probably help you with. So,
or
really,
at least check with you to make sure.
Check with us.
Okay.
And one more thing is, I think there's so many banks out there, and people say, well, what makes you so special? Well, really, the numbers of our rates, you can compare across the board. There may not be anything that differentiates us there. There may, but what really differentiates is when you have someone that's competent, professional, that understands what you're talking about and what your needs are. If we put you in the wrong kind of loan, it doesn't help you. So I think our people is what differentiates
us. People makes a difference.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you, Jonathan. I feel like I've learned a lot, and I will now read our upcoming events. On Thursday, September 27th from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m., the Multi-Chamber Business After Hours. The location is the Destin Commons. On Thursday, October 9th, the Leaders in Business Lunch, sponsored by White Wilson Medical Center. The location is the Palms of Destin Resort and Conference Center. And on Wednesday, October 17th, the Golf and Dine Annual Networking Golf Tournament. Location is the Emerald Bay Golf Course. Enjoy a beautiful day on the links, networking and marketing your business while enjoying tastings from area restaurants. Hole-in-one prizes include a Mercedes C-Class shootout contest for a chance to win $100,000 benefiting the Destin Elementary School PTO and Destin Middle School's discretionary fund. There is space available for players, sponsors, and restaurants. Thank you, and see you next time.